and wait and see if I'm live on the YouTube. See how this is working out here. See, I already lost somebody. I'm down to 2 viewers. There we go. I made no announcement. I'm up on you. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at it right here, and I can hear my voice. So let me just turn this down. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a way. You're not going to let me do it. Gosh, darn it. All right, well, I'm just going to have to bounce back and forth between the comments because it's not going to let me do what I want to do here. Nope. Oh, yeah, it will. Look at that. Cool. So I can see comments on both sides here. Okay, at the same time, so I don't have to bounce back and forth, which is really cool. All right, so welcome to the Interstate 19 Report. I'm your host, JB, and this is my first show. It's been about 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks since I've done my last one, so just thought I'd check in, see how everybody's been, see what's shaking in the hat community. I am live on Team Fitted. I am live on YouTube, Team Fitted TV. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I didn't give any announcements, so if you're catching it live, you're just catching it live. But that's how I'm rolling today. Got the sun lines across my face. I see that. This won't be an issue after next week because the time change. Although California, there's a proposition on the ballot where they want to change up daylight savings. It's, you know, everybody's got their political issues. I'm more concerned about the daylight savings amendment, but whatever. California is a bizarre state. So who we got? I see Cooper. And 4 people, yes. Cooper wearing the same hat. Is that what you're saying there? Are you wearing this hat? Yes. My fitted, since Tuesday is typically my day. Tomorrow is Halloween, so I thought I would rock the Dionic Danny Octo Pumpkin, whatever. I don't remember the exact naming of this hat, but all I know is I had to have it. And when this sucker went live, it just sold out like that. Of course, I had to make sure that I grabbed one. Love this hat, so it is pretty awesome. Leon, what's going on, my man? My man from up north. It's good to see you. So, okay, quick story here about Halloween, about how Halloween was when I grew up. So I grew up in a little town in Barstow, a little town in California called Barstow. And this is what Barstow did for Halloween. Now, everywhere else in the world, Halloween is October 31st, right? Okay, same for everybody. Not in Barstow. In Barstow, everybody does trick-or-treating on October 30th. And I always wondered, like, why? You know, why is this different? Because on the 31st, what Barstow would do is they would have a parade. So you'd have trick-or-treating on the 30th, the parade on the 31st. So what do you think that parade would be called? Halloween parade, fall festival parade? No, it was the Mardi Gras parade. So, yeah. So figure that one out. I've been away from Barstow for more than 20 years now. I don't know if they still do it that way. I don't see why they would have changed because it's Barstow. Look it up if you've never heard of Barstow, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty bad. It's pretty much that place on the way. If you're in LA and you're going to Vegas, it's that place where you stop and you take a piss. And if any of you are relatively local, you're totally going to get this. And you've traveled that interstate. You've traveled up the 15. I'm going to guess that you have stopped at the McDonald's with the train cars, where you can eat in the train cars, because that was like a big deal for the longest time. It's like, ooh, the McDonald's with the train cars. And for the longest time, it was the world's largest McDonald's. So just a little fact and figure there that nobody really cares about. M2 Bulls, how's it going? What's going on? Major League hats. It is definitely a sweet one. One of my favorites. Marin, I'm alive. What does that mean? Of course, I said I'm always here if anybody ever wants to reach out to me. I just haven't done a show in a while. So, all right. So that's the end of the stories and stuff, the setup and everything. So, um, what am I going to talk about today? I kind of always thought like I'm just gonna kind of ease out, kind of sort of just take a break, kind of sit back, relax, kind of see how the landscape lays out and everything. You know, thought maybe I'd have a bunch of stuff that I would want to get off my chest or talk about. And the truth of the matter is, boom, Leon just nailed it. New acquisitions. And honestly, when I was setting this stuff up today, I was like, do I even have everything here? Like, am I missing anything? I've completely lost track. And full disclosure here, the wall is in desperate need of updating. Um, yeah, it's bad. None of these hats that I'm going to show off right now um, are on the wall. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like do a live show. Tell me what you guys think. If this is something you think I should do, instead of having the, of course, I'd only be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do it on Team Fitted and YouTube. I'd have to do one or the other. But actually, take the phone, take my camera, and actually go around the wall and show you guys what I've been doing because I considered. I talked myself out of it, but I considered actually taking down part of the wall over the last month. Um, just something that I just thought, you know what, this I'm not going to be able to expand anymore. I'm still getting hats in. It's hard for me to decide what I should take down to make room for new stuff. So I kind of came back. That was a typo. I was trying to say you're live. You're alive is much better. That's actually very appropriate because, you know, I was so gung ho about doing this show every week, and I did 28 weeks in a row, and then I just decided, I just needed to step away for it. So, yeah. So either way, I'll go either way. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I'm thinking that maybe if I can come up with a way to kind of show off what I'm doing. It's nothing super innovative or anything. I'm not, I mean, I'm sure just like most of you, I tried to win that $1.6 billion lottery, the Mega Millions, a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, and with those big dreams of buying a house and just having an entire floor or an entire wing just for nothing but hats, that. But yeah, I think I got $2 out of it. Um, yeah. So that's about where I am. That's it. Did have a small crisis that I'm working through. Saturday I ran out of Cokes at my house, and because I was too lazy to go out Sunday and buy Cokes, I didn't have any Coke on Sunday, and so Monday I went to work, and before I came home, I went to there's right by my work. There's like a gas station that has a liquor store there, inside of it, and I bought a bottle of Coke. Opened it, fucking thing was flat. So I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I finally managed to get a can of Coke, and it's heavenly. I can't remember the last time I went a day without a Coke, let alone 2 days. So I'm in a pretty good place right now. So excuse me. This show is sponsored by Coca-Cola. All right, let's get this show on the road here. Yeah, so I got quite a bit of stuff I've picked up since the last show. And I may be missing a couple that I might have put up on the wall, but I'm pretty sure everything I've got here is what I've got. So it's like I couldn't remember. Did I show off the In-N-Out hat? Does anybody remember? I'm pretty sure I did, because I had the only white one, and everybody else got the black ones, and then I don't remember, but if I didn't and you all want to see it, I did post it on my Instagram back then. So, all right. So, these are not in order of acquisition. They are pretty much just, I tried to segregate them by league or sport or whatever, however you want to call it. So I'm just going to jump in here, and I'm going to start off with my major league acquisitions. This one I got from Hat Club. New York Giants. Now, this is the third New York Giants hat that I own, that I've acquired. Now, the first one was just a piece of crap, and I got it. Where did I get that one? Where did I get that one? The very first one I got. I could look it up. It's on my spreadsheet. But the logo was crooked, slightly crooked. But you know, that was before we were all into, like, you know, just return it or whatever like that. You know, I just didn't do that kind of stuff, so I just kind of dealt with it. But I never wore it because every time I wore it, oh, I'm totally lying. This is my fourth New York Giants hat. But I couldn't wear it because it bothered me so much. So I ended up getting another one, and I think I got that one from Mickey's Place. You know, because they're big into the Cooperstown stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. This one will be great. They were all made in China, first of all. But even that one, it just didn't feel right to me. So I didn't feel right wearing it. And I love this hat. I mean, it's a classic. It's, you know, it's just classic. What can you say bad about this hat? I challenge you, anybody. Marin says I did. I'm going to assume you're talking about the In-N-Out hat. She said it twice, actually. Yeah, so when Hat Club came out with their version, I had to jump on it. You know, of course, it's made in the U.S., which of course is awesome. Just, yeah, this one, got an orange theme going here. Looks good, feels good. I finally have a New York Giants hat that I'm proud of. So thank you, Hat Club. Yeah, good looking stuff here. By the way, the fourth New York Giants hat I have is I got from my last visit to the New Era store on Melrose before they relocated. And they were closing out those. Remember when they did those old style hats that everybody bitched about because they had the flag on them? They were like, they came in the red box and everything like that. They were closing them out, and with my discount and everything, I paid like $8 for it, and it was like a 7 5/8 or something ridiculously too big for me. So I got it just to have it, just because I liked the style. I could never wear it. It's up on the wall, way up on my high wall up there, and it's just in the box. I don't even have it displayed, so I don't really count that one. No, that's it. Okay. So that's one. Second hat. Major League, actually this is the last of the Major League hats that I've acquired, and I broke a rule of mine to get this hat. Okay, first off, I did not get this hat. My good friend, my longtime good fellow hat collecting friend, Courtney James, hooked me up with this. She always, anytime she goes to Coors Field, she always gets me a hat. She gets me something, and I appreciate her so much. She texts me out of the blue, and she just goes, "Guess where I am?" As I'm sitting here watching the Rockies were eliminated, of course, and I'm like, "You are not at the game." Did I say the World Series somewhere in there? I don't know. I'm watching the series against Milwaukee. I'm like, "You're not at the game." And she's all, "I'm at the game." So, and I'm like, "Can you check and see if they have it?" She's all, "I'm already doing it." So, she hooked me up. And I don't like to get the playoff patch hats. I don't. I think the only patch hats that are worth having are the World Series hats. And the same goes for Super Bowl or anything else. If you were in it, then I want it. You don't even have to win it. And of course, in my case, most of them didn't win it, but just because you made it to the postseason, I don't need that on a hat. I don't. It's just, I don't know, because essentially you're paying what, $40 for a patch, okay? But the reason I wanted this one was because it was the 25th anniversary silver um, home hat. So yeah, so I just decided that because this was the one, and I remember seeing a bunch of people on various social media complaining that New Era was featuring, or Lids was featuring this hat when the Rockies made the postseason. Everybody's like, but I only see the purple, the home, the road, and the purple hat. I don't see the silver one. Why don't you have that one available? And so, yeah, I got it just because it was this one. And I love this hat. So thank you, Courtney. Um, I think I owe you a couple hats now. Yeah, I do. So, yeah, she's gonna have a nice little box coming to her next year. Um, so yeah, so that's it for the major league stuff. So I'm gonna move on to Derek from Quebec. You all know Derek. He's a fellow Crew Era 13 member. A couple months ago, he got us all set. Those of us who wanted him got us set up with these. It's a baseball clinic in Quebec. I don't remember what it's called. He did tell me, but this hat is pretty badass. Half maple leaf logo, Canada, and then the fleur de lis, the Quebec flag. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to offend any French people, French-speaking folk, but excellent, excellent logo, and yeah. So they had two versions of this hat. So he was able to get this one for me, and it does, yeah. Yeah, and it means something. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Should have done more show notes, I guess. So I had this one for a while, but the other one came in and I got this one. So this is the pinwheel version of it, same logo, same thing on the back, still has the ABC. Just awesome. So I am proud to say, thanks to Derek, I have the set. I'm trying to do this. I got good at this for a while, but I guess I've forgotten. So, yeah. So, both of these, thank you, Derek. Derek, likewise, is going to have a very nice box coming to him next year. I've got a couple places I'm going to be going, so I'm going to be hooking up some people with some hats. Okay, it's French. It's okay. It's French. Nobody knows. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I took French in high school. Why I don't know. I live in Southern California. What made me think, hey, you live in Southern California, French could come in handy? I don't know. It was the 80s. Let's see. I got one football hat. And the only reason I got this one, I didn't even like this hat, but I got it because I was at Lids. I bought a hat at Lids, and it was like a buy one, get one 50% off or something like that. And they had it, and so I thought, what the heck? I'll just go ahead and get it. And I got the Jimmy Durante version of the Seattle Seahawks hat. If you don't know who Jimmy Durante is, look him up. He had like an enormous schnoz. Funny guy though. That's total old school. But yeah, this is the elements, the Seahawks elements. I don't like this. I don't ever see a time when I would wear this. But it was half off, and I'm a Seahawks fan, so I thought, why not? Now, what's interesting about this one? This is a 7 3/8. And it's a little bit big on me, but I'll tell you what, they had a 7 1/4, and yeah, I needed a shoehorn to get that sucker on. So I went ahead and went up a size. I mean, what's the difference? Huge nose, huge hat. It all works. It's all the same. Let's see. No, no French to the no offense to the French meant. You know, I'm a Senators fan, so I'm used to things being in French. You know, I watch the games. I watch the Senators on TV. You know, and every time they make a stadium or an announcement in the arena, they do it in English, then they do it in French. So, you know, no biggie. All the press releases, they have to do a French one and an English one. So yeah, that doesn't bother me. Anyway, so that's the only NFL hat that I got. That's the only. Well, no, I did get the Saints Elements one because I love that one, but so many NFL hats that have come out this year, and there's just nothing appeals to me. I've been watching a lot of NFL though. It's probably why my team fitted picks are so bad. All right. So next up, Hat Club has graciously started releasing more AHL hats, and I was actually going to do a show a couple weeks ago. I considered doing it, and then I decided not to, where I was going to show off all of my minor league hockey hats. I still might do that for a future show. I'm hoping that I can get a couple more before I do that. Come on, man, it's not that bad. They're actually not looking bad this year. It's not the disaster that I thought it was going to be. There's still some issues. I still don't think we're going to make the playoffs. But I was thinking like first 5 years bad, you know, like bad. But it hasn't been that bad. You guys, on the other hand, you guys losing, what's that dude's name? Matthews? You guys lost Austin Matthews, I believe, right? I don't know how long he's out for, but it's the Leafs. I don't care. So anyway, yes, I did get some AHL hats thanks to Hat Club. Loving this stuff. So, starting off with, I got not one, but two Milwaukee Admirals hats. This one is just pretty cool. I like that old school logo. This will always make me think of Chris Cornolo, and I hope I'm saying that right. I've never actually said his last name out loud, so but this was the logo, and I should probably let him tell the story at some point. But this, when we did our customs for Crew Era 13, he wanted to do one of these logos, and they told him no. So yeah, so this logo always makes me think of him. So he ended up going with another logo, a Red Wings logo, and I will always regret not getting one of those because it was really sweet. Anyway, I like this one. I like the colors. I like the two-tone. It's just pretty cool. Like it. Happy with it, of course. And then I got this one, more of the updated Milwaukee Admirals logo. It's pretty badass. Just pretty cool. I like the gray, gunmetal gray, or what, I don't know what you call this kind of gray, but just looks good. Sweet logo. You know, minor league baseball logos are the best, and kind of like seeing the minor league hockey logos. Some of them are pretty strong. I gotta give them props. Got this one, the Manitoba Moose. Again, another two-tone version. I like it. I like the navy blue and the lighter shade there. That's a mean-looking moose right there, though. So, yeah, good stuff. Hat Club just knocked it out of the park with these releases, and I'm hoping to see more of them. I would love to see, I'd love to see a Bellevue or a Belleville Sens. Obviously, that's never going to happen. Who else has a good logo? Oh, well, Ontario, the Ontario Reign. I'd love to see that. I think that'd be huge in SoCal. So I don't know with I don't know why that hasn't happened. They'd sell out of that so quick down here. I mean, they have a hat club in Ontario and Mills, so yeah, that would just work. But it's not my thing. Okay, this one, the Grand Rapids Griffins. This one is fantastic, and the reason I'm so happy with this one, there was a time when these guys were an affiliate of the Senators. It's not the same color scheme that they had back then, but Um, you know, I had the opportunity to get a Griffin's hat, and I'm pretty happy with it. I like this one a lot. Good, clean logo. Perfect hockey logo. It's just a great logo. It's kind of weird because they're kind of like old school Florida Panthers colors. So I don't know. When I got the hat, I kind of looked into some of the history of the colors and the logos, but I think I can't say. I don't even remember. I've been so bad the last month. I haven't updated my. That's probably why. That's why none of these hats are on the wall, because I haven't even added them to my spreadsheet. So I'm gonna have to, all the hard work I did, updating the count on my hats and everything, and yeah, probably I'm gonna have to do it all over again because my record keeping just went to shit. Um, the Hat Club hats are not selling as quickly. The pillbox style. No, I did not get the pillbox style hats from Lids. They didn't have anything I was interested in. I wanted an Angels hat that featured the old school A, the 70s, 80s A, because I had one like that when I was a kid, but they went with the Disney era A with the wings, the angel wings. Um, and then if they had had some Rockies logo, I would have gone with one of those, but they didn't do a Rockies one, so nothing else from that interested me, so I didn't get it. And the Griffin's hat, check the site, because the Hat Club hats have not been selling out as quickly as they once were. I think I talked about that on one of the last shows I did, where it kind of concerns me because I want them to keep releasing these things. I want them to keep, um, you know, I want to see more of this stuff, because I'm still that guy that at 11 o'clock, if there's a hat that I want at 11 o'clock, I'm checked out at 11:02. I'm done. My stuff's paid for, and I want to make sure I get it. And when they first started doing the retro minor league releases, I would see those things sell. I'd get mine, and then they'd be out. They'd be at least out in my size by 11:04 Pacific time. Um, and I'm not seeing that. I mean, I've had a couple of times where it's kind of like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy this now. I'm gonna wait until something else comes out and take my chances. And it hasn't failed me yet. I have not missed out on a hat. Okay, that's not true. There was once, but except for this one time, which I will get to shortly. I have not missed out on a hat because it's sold out like they did when they first started coming out. So check the site. Maybe they still have the Griffin's hat in your size. I don't know what your size is, but check anyway. Why not? What are we talking about? While I was yapping on, Swartzy hopped on. Yeah, Brett, rub it in, rub it in. Yeah, I know. I'll be watching that game later on tonight. I wish I could go. I'd love to see this. It's been so long since I've been and saw the Sens live. Let's see. I don't want to hear about that. Sorry, Leo. I don't really care to hear about the Leafs. Yotes. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So, Brad, if you let me know, give me an idea where you're sitting. I'll keep an eye out for you. See if I can see you. Cause yeah, I'll be tuned into that game. $15. Jeez. Okay. All right. Anyway, so back to the hats. That's it for the AHL portion of it. Everything else I got is minor league related. So I'll just jump right in there. So I mentioned the Seahawks hat that I got. It was part of a buy one, get one 50% off. The Seahawks hat, that was the 50% off. This was the one I actually paid for. Hold on. Oh, that's good stuff. I feel like I haven't had a Coke in like 6 months. It's actually only been 2 days, but who's counting? This is one of the hats, the Copa hats that I wanted from the get-go. And I had full-on intended on getting one, actually going to a game and getting one. I just never got down to the Epicenter, or whatever the hell they call it these days, Lone Mart, stadium or whatever. It'll always be the epicenter. I just never got down there, but you know, and I know this isn't one of the cute ones. No flying chancla or anything. You know, no fancy desserts or anything. It's just the you know the Quake's normal logo, the Q. It's just a T, which it's just whatever the Spanish word for Quakes is. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I took French in high school. But that's what this means. It's the same thing. It's got the little movals next to it, you know, to make it look like it's actually quaking. It's essentially the same hat. I just like it because it's just cool. Never buy from the team. Oh, never mind. They're not talking to me. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So got this one. Happy with it. I like it. This is actually probably the first time I've worn it outside of trying it on in the store, but you know, it's gonna look good on the wall once I get around to it. Let's see, save these. This one. Okay, we'll do this one next. So, some of you guys might be familiar with the dude on Instagram who has the hookup in Buffalo. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure he has the hookup with that old lady that has like 30,000. Wouldn't it have been funny if the old lady in Buffalo had gone for the ultimate hat collection contest and somebody would have put the Arizona woman in her place, because she's got a heck of a lot more hats than that guy. But I'm not going to open up that thing anymore. I'm over it. You're sitting 105, like behind the net. Yotes will attack against twice. So, cool. All right, I'll keep an eye out for you. You should have some kind of signal or something. Like after the 12-minute mark of the third period, when the puck is in that end, you like, I don't know, give some kind of hand signal or wave your hat or something. That'd be funny. Anyway, if you guys remember that dude, I bought 8 hats from him in 2 batches over the last 3 years. I'm extremely happy with the stuff I got for him. I know there was some questions as to whether his stuff was authentic or not. I personally believe, having seen it in person, I believe that the guy's legit. If anybody thinks different, I'm not dismissing it. I don't know for certain. I'm certainly not the expert that some of you guys are, as far as, you know, looking apart every stitch and everything. But one of the hats I got from him, I got the old school Wichita Wranglers hat, which I have right here actually, and yeah, it's dustier than I'll get out, so you have to forgive me. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is the old school tags and everything, white undervisor and everything, you know. So I got this one from him, and you know, it's 7 1/4 and everything, and it fits, but it's a little tight, and you know, it has that kind of that shape to it that the older hats will tend to have. I know there are people on here who could speak more, or more in this realm, who could speak more about this, but era to era to era, like, just take a size 7 1/4, for instance. A 7 1/4 will fit differently if you bought it in 1994, if you bought it in 2003, if you bought it in 2009, or in 2018. I mean, it's subtle, but there are differences. I mean, I have 7 1/8 that I bought in the early to mid 90s that fit me the same as some 7 3/8 hats that I've bought within the last 5 or 6 years. So, you know, it's just different. Yes, that's him, Leon. That's him. He's you know, I've heard people off and on, you know, say that they've had issues with the guy for whatever reason. He was cool to me. He's a good guy to me. And if anybody had questions about, you know, needed any vouching about the guy, I'd vouch for him because he was good to me. So anyway, this is the one I got from him. Hat Club came out with their version of it. And of course, because I trust Hat Club's, you know, their comfort, their materials, and everything with the retro stuff. So I went ahead and grabbed that. So yeah, much better fit, much better feel than the old school stuff. So this just goes into the archives. Um, Wichita Wranglers, good stuff. I'm happy with this one. I think I say that all the time. I'm happy with this one. That's like my catchphrase. Leon, go old school, make a meme. So that's one. That's another minor league one I got. And then I did mention that there was a Hat Club hat that I kind of put the brakes on. I said, you know what? I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm not sure if I want to get it. And then when I decided, what's up, Rob? Big Rob in the house. What's going on? You know, so I held out, and then I went to check back like that weekend, and it was sold out in my size. And I was like, fuck. Okay, now what? Okay, well, I guess I'm just out of luck. In fact, Swartzy, if you're still on, we had discussed, I said that there was a hat that I was going to talk to you about. And when you got back to Arizona, it was this one. It was this hat here, and I think you did check for me, and there was nothing local. Well, I happened to be on the phone with Luis the Goat, and about a completely unrelated issue. I was returning a hat, exchanging a hat, and while I was on the phone with him, I thought, you know what? I've never done this before, but you know, everybody says you can find anything. And he kind of chuckled, and he said, you know, he's like, you know, I do my best, you know, and so I told him the hat, and lo and behold, he was able to find it for me. So I did get a Phoenix Giants hat. Just I just like hats like this. I just like just the simple, old school looking. It just looks clean. There's nothing, and I could talk about how great minor league logos are, how great some of these fancier AHL logos are and everything, and they look great for what they are. But for me, nothing beats just a pure, clean letter for a logo. You just can't beat it. I mean, pound for pound, this just looks good. It looks good. You can do anything with this. It's just my opinion. Yeah, put it on a blank. I don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about my, I don't know what you're talking about, Leon. But that's normal. Marin, they says on YouTube, they sold out in size 7 on that one. You waited too long. Waited too long for which one? I'm assuming you're talking about the Wranglers. Oh, my catchphrase. The Wranglers, okay. Okay. I figured that would have been one that you would have been all over. They'll come back with it. I bet you they come back with that one. Anyway, Phoenix Giants, good stuff. I'm happy with it. This one was kind of just one off the cuff that I saw somebody post this one, and I had an acquaintance on some social media, probably Twitter, that somebody way back in the day had asked me if I had this hat, which I did not, or if I knew of a way to get one, which I did not. And he was like, that's like my holy grail. That's one I would kill to find this hat. And then I saw it. Somebody posted it. Somebody posted that the team was selling retros of this hat. And I don't remember. I couldn't remember because it's been too long who the guy was that was looking for this hat. So I hope the guy managed to get one because I got one. And that is the Danville 97s. And there was 1 year they played with this. They were the Braves after that. But for 1 year they played as the 97s. And yeah, I just saw it, had to get it. Nice. It is made in the U.S. Very nice. So one of those things was probably a good thing that it didn't come out until it did, because, you know, now I have one. It fits very clean, very nice. I like it. I'm happy with it. got that one. And that's a rare one that I ordered directly from the team. I don't do a lot of that anymore, ordering directly from the team. Um, they're just I'll get to that in a minute. I'll have like a final segment at the end here, which I'm almost done. Um, then I got this one. This one didn't sell very well, and which is interesting because I know when Hat Club started talking about what minor league logo would you like to see, or maybe it was even lids, and this one, I did see a couple people that said this was one that they really wanted. So, um, yeah, I grabbed this one. The old school Edmonton Trappers. Now I do have the somewhere back there. Where is it? Right, straight back there. Try to get my bearings here. Right there or there, somewhere in this area. I have the Edmonton Trappers hat, the last one, the hunter green with the crazy looking E. But this one, I like this one. This is when they were a Marlins affiliate. I think they used this one even when they weren't a Marlins affiliate. But you know, excuse me, is that coat coming back up? Black and teal is a color combination you can't go wrong with teal. I firmly believe that. The logo's a little gaudy, I guess. Probably not a lot of opportunity to wear this hat for me personally, but I will wear it just because I don't know. I've said it before. Teal was way overused in the 90s, and I think there was a lot of teal burnout, and then there became the stigma. Same with the purple. The stigma became it was a girl's color, I mean, I know we don't talk about things in those terms anymore, but back then, that was a thing. And if you had those colors, that's all out the window now. And teal, strong color. I love this color. It's I don't want to say I don't want to go Mikey and rank my colors. This is my sixth favorite color. I like teal, and of course I like purple. Because the Rockies. But yeah, I can rock some teal. So I'm happy with that one. And I know a couple of you got this hat here. Lids did that minor league run where they did some like a handful of the logos that they did. A handful of the hats were actual reproductions of on-field logos, and then they did like some crazy thing. I think I had made a comment somewhere. It's like Liz they're just making it up now. Like they're just making stuff up, and because some of the logos might have been used somewhere, but there was pretty much nothing on that release. And this is nothing against Lids. I appreciate what Lids does with the retro minor league stuff. They've done some really great things with it, but with this most recent release, there was nothing that like grabbed me like, I gotta have that. I just gotta have that. There was nothing like that except for this one, and it was the Provo Angels logo. Now, I was an early adopter of the Provo Angels. Back when they first became a team in 2001, along with the Casper Rockies, I actually grabbed the hats of theirs, both those teams, before the season even. As soon as they became available, that was back when most of your minor league stuff came from, you had to call the store. You couldn't even order it off a website. You had to actually call, talk to a real person, give your information to them over the phone, and they'd ship the stuff out to you. So the guys from Provo, I don't know if the guys who were involved with the team 15 years ago are still around, but those guys, they're always going to be on that list of minor league organizations that are just cool to talk to. They were great to do business with. So very happy with this one. Just the primary logo. I don't know if they had to have any rights. They had to acquire rights to do this one, but I'm glad they did. I would like to see more stuff like this of some of the teams that I've had hats for 15, 20 years. Some of those primary logos, because they did a really good job with this one. So it's another really good one. And one I was really surprised with. This is the last one. I was completely surprised that Hat Club did the original Provo Angels logo. Just, this floored me, and I was super, super pleased with this one. I probably should have got 2 of this one. I try to ignore it, but it does have just a little teeny tiny tilt, but you know, I decided I'm not going to worry about that. It's not as bad as the Portland Rockies one that I got. Um, it might even just be my imagination. I know somebody's going to chime in and say, yeah, that's definitely tilted, but but I'm cool with it. But that hat that I bought, the Provo Angels hat that I bought all those years ago, which is this one right here, I can archive this one and kind of, because it's still in good shape. I mean, it's seen better days. I mean, you're talking a hat that's 2001, 17 years old now, more than 17 years old, and it's still in pretty good shape. A little dusty, but I've gotten a lot of wear out of it. So it's nice to know that I have a nice clean one that I can wear. Take a look here. Get rid of this. So yeah, it's a good look. I got a couple of couple of Provo Angels jerseys that I can rock with this. So good stuff. So, and that's it. So that's everything that I have acquired since my last show. I'm pretty sure. I tried to be completely prepared for this as best as I could. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, am I adding to my room? Do I have everything displayed? No problem at all. Nothing to be sorry about. The question is, are you adding onto your room? Do you have everything displayed? I do not have everything displayed. Everything I just showed off in this show has been sitting on this box I have over here. It's just been gathering dust for the last 5 weeks or so. I've just been adding as the hats have been coming. So I need to sit down and I need to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I have no room. I'm out of room. I thought when I did the new wing over here, I have the little bridge that goes over my window above my desk. And then I went down the other side here. So I've got about 270 degrees of the room is just hats, pretty much anywhere I can put them. I'm now out of room, so I have to figure out a way. I don't know. I'm trying to be creative. That might be something I talk about at a later date. So yeah, I gotta get creative. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Big Rob joined on Team Fitted. I don't know if he's still here or not, but we still need to have that conversation. If you're still up for it, if you're still interested in what we've been talking about for probably the last 3 or 4 months now. I know I don't, Jurg, what does that even mean? Must be a Tulsa thing. Okay, yeah. So I have not forgotten. I know I may not be as active on the social medias as I used to be, but you're waiting, yeah. We are still going to have that conversation. So anytime you think I've forgotten, just chime in, send me a message, let me know, and we'll talk. We will talk about it. That will happen. Might wait until closer to the season starting, because maybe some stuff will come out that I might want to trade for, but we'll talk about that. So okay, that's pretty much all I got. I don't know how long I've been on. It's longer than I like to be on. I just don't know when to shut up sometimes. But I want. Okay, so this is the special commentary thing. So the Brandios did a big thing over the weekend where they talked about the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And full disclosure, I'm not a fan of the name. It's nobody's fault. I know there's meaning to it. It's a name that could grow on me. I've read like the history of the name and everything, and that's cool. I appreciate it. I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to the names, I guess. I don't really care for the current trend of everything having to be a, name of city, blank blank has to have two words, jumbo shrimp. Um, oh my gosh, what's the one? The Rumble Ponies. Everything has to be like that now, and it's a trend I don't really care for. I think the Amarillo team, I think all five of their names that are finalists are all like that, and so it's like, right away I'm just baby cakes, thank you. Um, wait, what? Oh my God, Anthony! I have not. I think every time I do a show, I think about you, and I'm like, I miss having Anthony on my shows because he's Anthony's like my fact checker. He's all of our fact checkers. Like anytime we're talking about something, he's right there with the knowledge, and and I trip up a lot. So it is good to see you, my man. I'm glad you chimed in, and you thought I was going to rant about buying caps directly from minor league baseball team stores. I've been buying shit from minor league team stores for so long. I could do 2 hours just on my experiences with that, which I will say by and large they've been good experiences. I will say that. I know there are some team stores that don't think I do enough business with them. I know Anne Marie doesn't watch the shows, but yeah, I know. I should buy some more Harrisburg Senator stuff. Um, Anthony says, "What up, JB? Don't make me blush." No, he's the man. If you guys on YouTube, um, Anthony's like him and Brett do shows. They would on Team Fitted. They would do shows together, and it was just captivating. Between the two of these guys, the cap knowledge is just unreal. I mean, they're like collectively they're like the Stephen Hawking of cap knowledge. I'm not even kidding. Um, Big Rob says, I heard there is a discount code minor league baseball gives out to reduce on shipping costs from team stores. I believe that shipping costs from team stores, they vary very wildly from team to team. Like some of them you get like a really good deal, like $6 or something like that. And then other ones it's like, hey, here's a $35 hat, $17 shipping. It's like, where am I ordering this from? Korea? What the hell? Um, Yeah, Marin says that would be good info to have because the shipping it's pretty killer. Yeah, yep, that definitely agree there. So Hudson Valley is like $16. Yeah, yes, I said 17. I was not exaggerating. I'm sure somewhere out there's a minor league team that charges $17 for shipping. But anyway, back to the Rocket City Trash Pandas. So, um, okay, so they make a big deal, unveil the logo and everything, and there were everybody seems like enormously popular or enormously positive, and this logo it's the name and everything has been very popular. The Trash Pandas. When I heard that was the name, there was part of me that was kind of like, I've heard this somewhere before, um, but that's a whole other story. So, but that's cool. I mean, they created a backstory behind it, which is actually pretty cool. The logos aren't terrible. It's typical Brandios work. The hat, I did see that they have a hat that they're making available, and it actually looks really good. And if I was to get one, that would probably be the one that I would get. But I'm not in any hurry at all to get it. But this is always the time of year when I'm really excited because teams start to release, any changes in their logos, anything like that. And it used to be a time when I was really excited because there would be some really good stuff that was coming out. But it just seems like lately, over the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even a little bigger, a little further back than that, it just seems like the you know, everybody wants to be bolder. Everybody wants to. It's like the food hats. Everybody wants to get in on it. They want to do something, you know, and it all ends up coming back around where everybody ends up being the same. And this is not a knock on Brandios. I think Brandios, what those guys have done for minor league baseball marketing and branding is just beyond the pale. There's no comparison. In all the years I've been involved in purchasing minor league, any sport really, merchandise, I've never seen anything like that, and I have nothing but admiration for those guys. And if you've ever had the chance to interact with them in any way, they're super cool guys as well. So, and I learned a very important lesson in talking to somebody about them in particular. Just a little bit of wisdom that I've kind of always kept with me. When the it seemed like every rebranding featured a logo that had some variation on the swinging friar. It was kind of like, dude, really? Okay, this is so predictable. It's like, oh, new team, Branios is working on it. I predict there's gonna be they're gonna swing something, and for a while that was the thing. And so I was talking to somebody about that exact point I had, and I was kind of using it to be critical a little bit. And the guy I was talking to, he's like, you know what? Branios doesn't make that call. Branios gets feedback from the team. This is what we're interested in. And then Branios goes and they work on the logos, and then they go back to the team and they said, here's everything that we've done. And then the team kind of goes through and kind of gives them feedback on what they like. So he said if everybody's doing, every team is doing a swinging friar variation, that's because that's what the team asked for. So, and that was, I had that conversation, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago. And yeah, that really stuck with me. So, and that's kind of why I'm so critical of like the food theme hats, because it's like the first couple of teams that did it, it was kind of like, that's kind of cool, that's kind of novel, but then everybody else wants to do it, and some of them have been good. Most of them, in my opinion, are awful. So, but I'm not going to blame the guys who do the branding on that. It's just, that's not really fair. So, but back to the trash pandas, I think, and maybe somebody wants to chime in, give their opinion or something. I just have a feeling that even if there's newer stuff coming out. Amarillo has something they're coming out with. Colorado Springs. The Colorado Springs is another one that's going to be the Colorado Springs something something, or the something 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 somethings. I just have a feeling. Hold on. Get out of here. Run away. Go. I don't know why you're in here in the first place. I heard somebody scratching at the door. It was my cat wanting to get out. Forgot he was even in here. But I think that the trash pandas, I think that's going to be the marquee. That's going to be the big winner for the off-season logos. I can't think of anything that's going to have a bigger splash than the trash pandas. So, and maybe when that happens, Anthony says Hat Club will be bringing in almost all the trash panda hats. When that happens, I'll probably get one. But I don't, that's why I'm so into retro, the retro stuff, is because there's not really anything new that's coming out that I find all that compelling. I still think the best minor league logo to come out in the last 5 or 6 years is the Yard Goats. I think the Yard Goats is just fantastic. I can't think of anything that has really, just made me be like, oh my god, I have to have one of those. Just my opinion. So that's pretty much all I got, though, guys. I don't really want to. I really want to read Robert's post or his comment here. 100% the teams approve in the end, and it boils down to originality. These MLB execs see another team do something successful and copy, from on-field promotions to merch and food and beverage. And I get that. I mean, I know these guys, they all network, they see something that somebody else has done. Yeah, and especially if it's something successful, they want to bandwagon off of that. It's it's not different in any other industry. Everybody does that, but if they're making a ton of money off of it, so be it. I remember when this year's Copa hats came out, or last year's now, I guess. When they all announced, I just remember being unimpressed, 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 unimpressed. And when I got to the flying chanclas, I was like, dude, that's, I don't see why people don't have issues with this one. I mean, it's basically, it's like, oh, let's make a funny logo that talks about hitting your kids. Okay. Well, I mean, I say that tongue in cheek, because we all hit our kids with shoes, right? But everybody I told that to, I showed that to, especially the Hispanics, thought it was hilarious. And they were like, dude, I would buy that. If I were into buying hats, I would buy that. Because, and then insert story about how they used to get beat with shoes, So I get, so some of them I'm like, all right, I get it. I get why these are popular. Yeah, there's a ton of teams are doing the Copa hats next year. Anthony says 72 Copa hats for 2019. I believe that is the number I heard as well. Um, Big Rob, Fresno is the perfect example of how every club should be. I would agree with that. Yeah, that definitely, Fresno definitely, they've set the bar high on a lot of different things. Oh, no wonder I haven't heard from Swartzy. The game's about to start, the Senators and the Coyotes. Um, but it's going to get to a point where, you know, there are going to be so many different hats, so many different themes, so many different things going on. It's like, teams are going to lose their original identity. Now they're doing a lot of teams are doing the what might have been night, or, just different things, on top of the different throwback promotions. So, I mean, you're going to have, I'm sure not too far in the future, there's going to be a team that spends 30% of their home games with a different identity. And then you lose your original identity. So I don't know. I don't know. So it is what it is. Um, Anthony says, but I guess too many choices isn't a bad thing for us addicts. Yes and no. I don't know. Maybe I mean, I'm completely speaking for myself here. I know there are guys out there. That guy on Instagram, the truck driver Buzz Hat King, that guy is just mad. Okay, I have so much. That guy, he's a truck driver. I need to talk to that guy and say, hey, the next time you're coming down the 15, you got to let me know. Stop off. Let's have lunch or something. I'd love to just sit and talk hats with that guy for an hour. Just because he's just crazy. And that's cool. I completely respect that. Dude drives around to different stadiums, and gets different hats, and that's cool. And that's something that, if I had the means, that's something that I would love to do. But I'm at a point in my life now where, and I don't want to say I'm getting out of the game or anything like that, but, I'm being a lot pickier with the stuff that I'm buying, the stuff that I'm picking up. I mean, talk to my wife. She's like, you're slowing down. Like, okay, that's why I see two boxes a week, but I see a lot of stuff now that I'm just like, I'm gonna pass on that. I pass on a lot more stuff than I decide that I want. I don't know. I don't know if it's just my age, the point in my life where I am. I don't know. You know, I I joke around with her. When I told her I wasn't gonna do this show anymore, or I was gonna not do it as often. She saw why, and I told her, I said, yeah, it's a young hat collecting. It's a young man's game. It's a new generation. I'm old school. People don't want to hear it from an old guy. And she's just like, whatever. You're a dork. And so yeah. I mean, I don't really mean any of that, um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just being a lot pickier with the stuff that I pick up, and maybe because there are so many hats that a team will release that it's just like it's overwhelming. um, I love the 66ers. I've been a big fan of San Bernardino hats for a long time, but the different stuff that they put out, it's overwhelming. It's like I went to, I went to a couple games last year. I ended up picking up, I got a couple different hats. I mean, they hooked me up with the hat, which I'm eternally grateful to those guys for doing that. That was really awesome of them. And they've got some great stuff. I mean, I picked up 3 66ers hats this past season, including their Copa hat, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, you go down to some of these team stores, and it's like, I don't even know where to start. And I'm certainly not going to buy all of them. So I don't know. I guess it's just different ways to look at stuff. Big Rob says, yeah, I'm sure they sit around, but they all sell in the long run. And yes, there is no true answer to how it's done, but I agree. Yeah, the names has become outlandish. I don't know. I guess we just sit around and wait for the next trend. So, anyway, guys, that's it. I just wanted to check in and see how everybody was doing, chit-chat with a couple of you guys. I appreciate those of you who did log on and